So today's video is going to be reading the entire Ember in the Ashes series. We're going to be starting this series. Well, I actually technically already started it. I started it quite a bit. But yeah, we're going to be reading this in this vlog. So the Ember in the Ashes series by Saba Tahir. It'd be nice if I could speak. So we have Ember in the Ashes. The second book is A Torch Against the Night. The third book is a Reaper at the Gates, and the fourth is A Sky Beyond the Storm. I don't know why I never remember the title of the last book. So we got the first book, and then the second book, the third book, and the fourth book. I'm absolutely obsessed with these covers. I love them so much. I heard that this book is a soul destroyer. I just watched somebody's reel on the series last night, and they said that this book literally wrecked them. So I think I'm a little bit ready to be wrecked again emotionally, because the last book that did that to me was Releasing 10 and Firefly Lane. But Releasing 10 was I loved Firefly Lane so much, but I haven't been destroyed by a fantasy book in quite a while. Mostly the fantasy books I've been reading is romantasy. I did cry a little bit in A Fate Forged in Fire and Silver Elite. Those were my last 5-star fantasy reads, but those were in May, and also I haven't really read that much fantasy this month. And also this was on my TBR for this month. So I finally just wanted to jump into this series because I was just in a huge fantasy mood. So let's talk about the first book, because I did start it yesterday, and now I'm pretty much already halfway through. I'm on page 216. I probably have only read about 60 pages of it physically, and the rest I've been listening to, because the narrators of these books are so good. I'm obsessed with the male voice, but the female voice is really good too, but the male voice is perfection. So I've been really loving listening to them. And also, I didn't really have that much time to physically read yesterday. I think I only read 55 pages yesterday, and then I just listened to it while I was getting ready and going back and forth to where I was going. But today I read 15 pages this morning, but I'm about to read some more. So I should be done with this by hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to try my best to finish it today, but I don't think I'm going to. I still have 200 and something pages to go, but I'm going to read quite a bit before I have to get ready today, because I have to pick up food for my friend, and then I have to pick her up, and then we're going to a silent book club tonight. It's these events that they have all over the pretty much all over my town, but also in a few towns on the island, where basically you go and you read any book that you want for an hour. It's just a silent hour of reading, and then after you are done reading, you can socialize, or you can just continue reading your book. But I'm definitely going to try and talk to some new people. So me and my friend are going, and also her friend is coming too, and she's actually the runner of a book club on Facebook that my friend that I'm going with invited me to, and she's also her friend too, so now I'll be able to meet her as well. And it'll be fun because we'll also be able to talk about the book club book that they just read, which was Summer in the City, which I already read that when it came out, and I love that book. So then we can talk about it, but I'm also going to tell my friend that I did start this book, and this is obviously what I'm going to be reading later, and I'm so excited. So basically, this book is about Leia and Elias, and pretty much Leia is trying to save her brother, but also they're both Leia and Elias are both rebelling against the way things are. They're pretty much rebelling against the Empire that rules them, and Elias is a soldier But also, like, you find out that, like, the commandant is his mother. So it's really hard for him to, obviously try and make things better, because he has to be very careful so his mother doesn't catch him. And if you get caught doing something wrong, you are severely punished, like whipped like crazy. You can lose a hand. Like, they really don't care about showing mercy. Like, everything is a very ruthless way of living. And Leia, she's always trying to, like, protect her brother, but her brother's always, like, rebelling, and she always tells him to be careful, and then he gets captured, so it's up to her to be able to save him. But she also starts working with, like, the other rebels, and she's sent on, missions to work, undercover for them, or, like, to prove herself that she can be part of, like, pretty much the clan, I guess you could call them. um and I'm having an absolute blast. This is so good. I am so upset that I didn't read these when I was reading This Woven Kingdom. I should have just DNF'd that series because I didn't pay for it. But, like, this would have scratched my itch so much better when it came to a good YA fantasy series, because I don't think I've read a YA fantasy series in, like I said, a while. Maybe not since This Woven Kingdom. No, The Hunger Games. I'm lying. The Hunger Games, obviously. But that's not fantasy. That's YA dystopian. But anyway, this is just so good so far. The magic system is so interesting. They have Jinn. They have, like, these I forget what the other spirits are called, or magical beings, but they're pretty evil, and they want to kill Elias too, and also Leia. So they're, or late is that her name? Oh my god. Yeah, Leia. So yeah, so far I'm having a great time. Pretty much, some tragedies happened and it was pretty sad. I didn't cry though, but, like, I'm just so excited to get back to reading this, because this series is popular for a reason, and so far I'm absolutely hooked. I cannot wait to see what happens at the end of this book. So I'm just so happy I finally jumped into a series, because I'm doing really good on reading my entire TBR this month. The only books that I didn't get to, unfortunately, was Billy Summers again. But honestly, I'm not upset about it, because I can just push it to July. I am going to read it in July or maybe August. Like, the time will come when I read it, but also I do want to read it for the vlog that I was also filming of, like, pushing books off, or putting books off that I should read. So anyway, we're just going to continue this, and we'll check in later, pretty much when I'm finished with it. So that's why it's good that I didn't make this clip or this intro until, like, I was, like, halfway through this one, because you guys know I can ramble, like, forever. So yeah, that's it. So very excited to get into the rest of this series. Oh, why am I, like, blanking on what I wanted to say? So I should be able to start the second book by tomorrow. And I want to get a lot of this read tomorrow, because I do have to work Saturday, Sunday. So I'm going to try and read this Sunday night as well, because, like, I'm not going to be able to read this on Saturday until, like, I get home at, like, 8:30, because I have to work at, like, 1. I have to work, like, a 7-hour shift on Saturday. So I'm probably just going to read my ARC on Saturday. So I'm probably just going to read my Kindle, but I'm going to try and get at least a good chunk of this done tomorrow, because I want to be done with the second book by the 30th, because I'm definitely not going to have time to read all 4 books before the month is over. But my goal was to just read the first 2 books before June was over, and that should definitely be doable. So this one should be the last book that I finish in the month of June, which is nothing to be upset over, because, again, I'm so excited to be reading this series. So yeah, that's it. Bye, you guys. I finished it and it was so fucking good. It was so good. This book was so good. God. I so regret not reading this over This Woven Kingdom. This was fan-fucking-tastic. What an amazing start to the series. Holy shit, this was good. I'm still a little bit torn as what my actual rating is gonna be. I'm thinking like a 4.75. But also I'm thinking about just giving it a fucking 5-star because I'm obsessed. I literally cannot wait. But it's not like a deep obsession with like the characters. Like, I loved the characters though, but like she just has such a unique way of writing. But it's so fast paced, but it's like nothing like I've read in the YA fantasy genre before, the YA romantasy or even like adult romantasy. But this is really not smutty at all, first of all. But like there's like certain ways that she writes like something that's a little bit upsetting, but for some reason you end up laughing about it. And I've never really read something like that before, even though like I read Frederick Bachman, I've read ACOTAR, I've read Throne of Glass, I've read all of that. She makes like uncomfortable situations so brilliantly, weaving the humor into it because like I don't know, it's like kind of genius, to be honest. Like, and I don't really use that word lightly, but the way that she writes a situation that should be upsetting, she like interweaves it like perfectly into what she is describing, or like the dialogue that she's writing. And then like some of the dialogue was really 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 funny and none of it felt forced at all. It was so natural and everything was so fast paced, but absolutely nothing feels rushed. This is such a brilliantly paced book. Nothing is slow. It like everything is so fast paced, but nothing feels rushed. Like you literally fly through these pages. Holy shit, it was so good. Now I understand why people obsess over this, and I'm so glad. This is one of my books for my 25 and 2025, so we got this off the list as well. So much happens at the end, and I really don't want to say much, but basically like this is what's going to start the whole rebellion. And I have a feeling we're going to have multiple battles and wars. Because I think this was just a taste of what's coming. And I am so here for it. I'm so beyond excited to get to the rest of the series. So you best believe I'm going to be jumping right into book 2 tomorrow. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm not going to do it now because I literally finished this book already. I actually finished it via audio because, like I said, I love the male narrator. And it ends with the male narration, which usually sometimes doesn't happen in, like, dual narration, especially romanticies, because usually it's the female that's the last chapter. But I love that it was him at the end, and like something happened at the end of this that I was like, oh my god, my man. I was like, no. And then I was like, okay. We're okay. Are you okay? Am I okay? Because you're okay, right? Because you're not fucking reading this, obviously. But it was just so good. I'm so excited, but also I'm a little bit excited to be emotionally devastated. But I was just obsessed with the writing of this. Like, I think this was so much better written than This Woven Kingdom. Like, even though there wasn't like amazing lyrical writing, I just loved this writing style. Because like I said, this was so unique compared to like anything else I've read this year. Like, when it comes to a series, I'm like, it was very unique. So, yeah, basically Elias and Leia are like kind of just rebelling against the Empire, like I said. And so much shit goes down. Oh my god. And then like Helene and Leia kind of form like a love triangle with Elias. But the way that the love triangle is done in this, if you don't like love triangles, I think you would still like this because the way it was done was so well done. It was so well done because it's like he's the one that's torn between the two of them, and I haven't really seen it from like the male's perspective because I've always seen it like from the female's perspective, between choosing between two different men. Like Light Lark and Shatter Me, even Caraval. Um, but usually I read a lot of books where it's just from the female character's perspective, not from both characters' perspective, and that's why I think that's why I was so obsessed with this. But it was so fucking good, you guys. It was so good. So I don't really have anything else to say. I'm so excited to jump into the rest of the series. So definitely going to be reading this. I actually borrowed this on Libby as well. So because I'm like, there's no way I can't read this over the weekend. So I'm just going to bring my Kindle with me on Saturday. But I think I'm going to be able to get a lot of the physical book read tomorrow, because I think of this, I only ended up reading like 150 pages of it because I listened to a lot of the audiobook yesterday. But I read like over 100 pages of this today because I read 50 pages of this at the Silent Book Club. I also read 50 pages before the Silent Book Club, so that was 100 pages. So, yeah. I literally flew through this during the Silent Book Club, but that was like really the longest stretch of reading that I did with this book. So that's why I was so excited to read this there, because like I said, I didn't really get to read that much of it physically yesterday, but also I wanted to finish the last chapter via audio because it ended with his narration. It was just fantastic narration. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go. I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to get spoilery because it is a series, but just know this series is worth the hype, all right? It's so good. If you want a politics, war-heavy kind of YA romantasy, but it's more like very fantasy-heavy, and the romance is just sprinkled in so well. It doesn't feel like the book that I just read, which was A Dance of Lies, where I felt like it was a little bit awkwardly placed. No, this flows so well. You get to know the characters so well. And there's only like really 3 or 4 main characters. And that's, well, like 5 or 6. But like, it's just so well done. It's so good. I really, really liked this. So yeah, gonna start the second one tomorrow and I'm so excited. I'm hoping to finish this by Sunday night, but we'll see. Because Saturday, again, I'm not gonna have that much time to read. So hopefully binge it Sunday night. But also me and my mom are gonna be watching The Bear Sunday night. But we are also gonna be reading it. We're also going to be watching it tomorrow night because I don't have any plans tomorrow, thank God. So yeah, that's it. Bye. So hey guys, so I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, which is the second book in the Ember in the Ashes series. So I started this book today and I'm already on page 130. And I've only read this book physically and a little bit on my Kindle because I don't actually have the audiobook yet, because the only book in this series that is not available like pretty much right away from the library from Libby is this one. Because the other 3, like I already returned Ember in the Ashes and like 2 people were waiting for it, so I finished that already, like I said yesterday. But the 3rd and 4th book I was able to borrow like right away, and I borrowed all 3 of them at the same time. But this one has a 3-week wait on it. I'm like, why is it only the second book? Like, it would make sense if it was the first one still, because that's obviously the most popular one. But I do have books 3 and 4 from the Libby app. But this one, I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to get the audiobook because I get my Everand credits back tomorrow. So I'm just going to use one of my credits from Everand to get the audiobook of this one, because I'm not going to be able to physically read as much tomorrow because I have to work at 1. But I did read like probably 110 pages of this physically today, and the rest I read on my Kindle because I did start it on my Kindle last night when I was in bed. And then I did also read like a chapter or 2 this morning on my Kindle because I had to go get my eyes checked. So I just brought my Kindle with me while I was waiting. And then the rest of this I read completely physically, and I'm already on page 130 because this series, like I said, it moves so quickly. It moves so fast. It's so fast paced. And I'm absolutely loving this book as well, too. There is so much that is going to be built up to happen in this book. And like I said, everything happens so quickly and everything, you know, is so well paced. And like I said, nothing feels rushed. So basically this starts off exactly, well, pretty much like 5 days after the events that occurred at the end of the first book. So it's pretty much right where we left off at the end of the first book. And this one actually introduces another character's perspective, which is Helene. And Helene was the one that was in love with Elias in the first book, but so is Leia. So there was kind of a whole love triangle thing going on. And then something happened at the end of the first book where Elias and Leia had to separate from Helene. So now Elias is with Leia, and Helene has to basically convince her father that she doesn't know where they are, because then she's going to end up betraying everybody. And it's like kind of crazy because Helene is a very interesting character because you're not really sure like where her loyalty actually lies, but she's also, since she's in love with Elias, she still has to be loyal to her father or she's going to get executed. And then like Elias is going to be executed and Leia's going to be executed. So everyone's like on, it's very high stakes in these books, and that's why I absolutely love them. But also something is happening with one of the characters that they only have a certain time to live. And it's like keeping me on the edge of my seat. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going to happen to them? She even like kind of introduced with this character some type of like, not afterlife, but kind of like a limbo kind of in between kind of scene. And it was insane. I was like, oh my God, are they actually dead? And she keeps on like kind of teetering on the edge on whether this character is going to die or not. And it's like keeping me so intrigued. So that's all I'm going to say right now, because that's pretty much what is happening. Also, the Commandant is on Elias's tail. Like, she tried to poison him once already, so they had to deal with that. So there's so much stuff going on, and I'm just so here for it. What was the last chapter that I was just on? Oh, they're heading to another place because they have to go to the fall gathering. And probably a shit ton is going to happen there too. So that's where I'm at. That's everything I'm going to say. I mean, that's not everything I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil anything. But so far, I'm having an absolute blast with this series. And I'm so glad I decided to pick this series up. Because it's like, I don't know why we put off series for so long. But it's like, again, when we actually do pick them up, it's like, why did I put off series for so long? What's wrong with me? This is why I fucking love reading series. Because they're so good, but also I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to be absolutely devastated by the end of the fourth book. But, you know, that's what we read for, guys. We read for devastation. We don't read for fun. So, yeah, but yeah, I'm having a great time. So, yeah, that's it. Bye. And I will let you guys know what I get up to tomorrow. But like I said, my plan is to finish this book by Sunday night. I'm hoping to. I don't know if me and my mom are going to binge more of The Bear Sunday, because we did watch 3 episodes tonight. I didn't really have that many plans this weekend because I had a shit ton of plans Monday through Thursday. But then this weekend I was just working. So my plan was just to finish this book. And I only had, like I said, an eye doctor appointment. So I really didn't have any plans on the weekend this week because, like I said, I did something Monday through Thursday. So I'm like, I am so tired. And actually, I got invited to do something tonight, and I was like, no, I don't want to. So yeah, my goal is just to read more of this. So I'm probably going to do a reading sprints for a good hour and a half on TikTok. So to read more of this book. So yeah, that's it. Bye. And I will let you guys, why am I saying bye like 5 million times? I'll let you guys know when I get 50% of the way through. But I'm going to switch to my Kindle now because it's just easier to read my Kindle in my bed. And yeah, bye. So hey there, guys. I wanted to give you guys a update on where I'm at in A Torch Against the Night, which is the second book in the Ember In The Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. I'm really liking it. I really am. I'm on page 356, so I should definitely finish this tomorrow. I've been reading it for the past 2 days. I didn't get through it as fast as the first one because I had to work today, like I said. but I think I got through almost 200 pages today anyway. Let me rhyme again. I didn't really read, I think I read like, I didn't really read. I think I read like, maybe like 20 pages on my Kindle this morning. And I switched to the physical book and I read like 20 or 25 more pages then. And then I read another like 40 pages or 45 pages. So I think I read like almost 90 pages of this today physically. And then I listened to quite a lot of it. Because, I mean, not that much of it, but like I said, I was able to get my Everend credit today, or my credits, so I was able to get this audiobook with that. And I'm really, really liking it. I think on my Kindle now, I'm 78% of the way through. So like I said, I'll definitely finish it tomorrow. And I can't believe I just got through yet another part, because after this chapter, I'm on part 5 already, which is the last chapter. I don't think, I mean, literally my opinion could probably change in the last 100 pages of this book, because I'm not getting the 5-star feelings of this one as I did with the first one. I mean, the first one I felt like it was like a 4.75, and then I thought about it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, no, it's a 5-star. I loved it. But like with this, it's still great. Oh my God, I'm still loving it. I'm still loving the writing. I'm still loving the characters. I'm still loving the story. And we're getting quite a lot of story progression right now. It's just really late, so I'll probably just update you guys on what is actually happening tomorrow, when I finish the book. But one of the characters is, like I said, is having like a ticking time bomb on how much time they have left. And then with Leia, she, is still with Elias, or like Elias just got captured and we thought somebody was dead that ends up not being dead, and we keep on thinking that he is dead, but he ends up not being dead. And it's just like this is now the second time that this has happened in the first book and now the second book, and it got, I don't know, a little bit annoying, because it's like, okay, he's not dead, so like, can we like stop using that plot point? Because if we do that again in the third book, I feel like that would annoy me a little bit. No offense. But I'm really enjoying Helene's perspectives in this book, because we're not really getting as much romance in this book either. So I really wouldn't call this like a YA romantasy. I would call it more so a YA fantasy with a romance subplot, because like the romance part, I guess because like the love triangle keeps up throughout the entire book, but it's not like much like kissing and stuff. It's more so like that these characters are just in love with each other, and you see like the way that they are together, which I think is so clever, because they're still like, I feel like Sabati here makes it very important that you know, certain characters have to have more time together. And that's honestly like most readers, especially with like a romance subplot or even in a romance book, mostly we have to see like the time that the characters spend together. And sometimes like there's some books where it's like they barely spend any time together, and it's like, well, why didn't they have more scenes together? With this, like I said, it's so cleverly written and so well done. So I'm really excited to see how this ends. And then we'll definitely start the third book on Monday. I'm not sure if I'm going to start it tomorrow night after I finish this, because I might just have to process how I'm feeling about it. Because like I said, I'm on page 356, so I think I still have like, I think I only have like 90 something pages left. Yeah, maybe a little bit under 100 pages. So yeah, we'll just check in tomorrow, because I'm super tired. So yeah, bye. Okay, so hey there guys, I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish the second book in the Ember In The Ashes series, A Torch Against the Night, this morning, actually, because I couldn't really sleep. I went to bed so late. I really need to stop doing that, because now I have to work. But at least I'm only working 5 hours today instead of 6, but still, like, I don't even want to go to work right now, but it is what it is. And I really liked this. I really, really liked this. I didn't love it as much as the first one though, but I still loved it. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars because I don't know, there was just like a little something but it was superb writing. I just love the writing in this series. I just feel like I needed like a little bit more from Elias and Leia, but besides that, so good. Like such good story progression, so much happens, and literally like I said, you're just not bored once, and I literally cannot wait to finish the series. I now am officially halfway through the series already, which is crazy, but I think it's because it's such a short, concise series that I really, really like, because I haven't really read like a quartet before. I don't really think I've read any. I've mostly read trilogies or duologies or just longer series like Throne of Glass and ACOTAR and Shatter Me, but I haven't really read anything that's like only 4 books, and I really do appreciate that. And again, these covers are just so stunning. I love them. I love the colors. I just love the story. So basically this one was a lot of loyalties were tested. Helene was still on Elias's tail, and then a lot was revealed in the last like 50 to 60 pages. There was this huge plot twist that I did not see coming about one of the characters being the Nightbringer. I was like, what? I was like, that was crazy. And also Leia is still trying to find her brother, and it's just so good. Like Helene's loyalties are tested to her father or Elias, and then some crazy shit happens at the end with her family and her, and like damn. But I also thought that there was going to be like some type of battle at the end, but there wasn't. So like sometimes I get a little bit annoyed when like there's a lot of buildup and then there's no battle. I'm like, I'm here for the battles, like come on. But it was still really, really good. There was still really great action buildup, and one of the characters again keeps on being tested between life and death. And we keep on getting foreshadowing of this character potentially dying. I'm hoping not, because they're like my favorite character now. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I can really say. I think that was a pretty concise wrap up of my thoughts on this, but it's just so good. So, and the Commandant is back, you know, being a fucking bitch. Killing everybody she wants to. She a cold-hearted bitch. So, but I love how strong the female characters are in this series. Like, there's no like build up of like, you know, I have to be a badass. No, it's just like they're completely equal to men in this world, and they're just so badass. Like, they're just in positions of power, and they're just as ruthless as a man could be. And that's why I think I like this series so much more, because it's not like that, you know, I'm gonna be a woman and hear me roar, roar. No, it's more like they're just tough ass bitches. And I really love that with this. And we got a lot more of the magic system in this as well. So I'm so excited to start book 3. I'm actually about to start it now because I'm just going to start the audiobook because I have to get ready for work. So I do have the audiobook from the library, so might as well start the audiobook before work. And then I usually take a good 45 minutes to get ready before work. But this is going to be the last book that I'm reading in June, because it's literally June 29th right now. I'm just so glad that I got halfway through the series. That was my only goal this month. And I did read, even though I read less books this month, like I said, I've had an incredible reading month, and I got to pretty much all the books that I wanted to read on my TBR and then some. So I'm feeling really good about my reading journey this month. So yeah, really excited to start A Reaper at the Gates later. I'm hoping to probably finish this one by, I thought that was like a black speck, but it's really just part of the writing. By July 1st. I probably will finish this Tuesday night because it's Sunday right now and I have to work. But I also borrowed the ebook version from the library as well if I decide to read on my break today, but I might not have time again because I did, even though I had an hour to read yesterday, I was like audio messaging one of my friends. That was actually one of my ex coworkers that came in on Friday when I visited the store. She visited too, and then we got to talking, and she also broke up with her boyfriend recently. So, so we were talking and she visited and she's like, "Oh, I wanted to see if you were here." And I was like, "I'm not even working today, but hey girl." I'm like, "I'm actually visiting too." It's just really funny. And then yesterday, I got through a lot of this yesterday. I read, like I said, I mean, go ahead and be a rhyming queen. I read like 50 pages before work, and then I listened to the audiobook while I was getting ready. And then when I got home, I listened to more. And then I read like 50 pages or so last night. And then by the time I was up to that point, I think I was over page 300 already. And then by this morning, I was on page 350, and I knew that it would only take me 2 hours with this book because these books are so fast to read, like 50 pages an hour. Like, they just fly by. So, yeah, that's about it. So, I'm going to go and I will let you guys know my thoughts on what I think of book 3, but I'm going to start it now. I'm not going to say, like, oh, I started it, or I'm like, because I'm not going to have time to do a check in until after work. So, we'll see how far we get. So, yeah, bye. Hey there, guys. So I wanted to give you guys an update on where I'm at in A Reaper at the Gates by Saba Tahir. I did start book 3 this afternoon because, like I said, I did listen to the audiobook mostly. I didn't really have time to read on my Kindle again at work. But I did read like 50 pages of this when I got home tonight. And so far, I'm really enjoying this one too. This series is just literally so easy to get through. Like, again, I don't know why I put off series for so long. I'm going to say this after checking in with every book in this series, but honestly, like, these books are so freaking fast paced. It's like, this is why I love YA series, because it's like, it takes like no time to get through them. Not to say like I want to rush through it, but it's like sometimes you feel like series are like a huge commitment. So I'm on page 143, and again, there's a lot of, I'm going to say this about every single book, but there are a lot of loyalties being tested. Elias is, again, trying to figure out like stuff between Leia. There really wasn't as much romance in the second book. It's really honestly more a YA fantasy series with a romance subplot. It's not really like a romantasy series. Like, the romance is not really like the main plot of the story, which I actually really enjoy. And then with Helene, she's now called the Blood Striker. She, like I said, she had something tragic happen to her family in book 2. So now she's pretty much loyal to Marcus because her sister needed to marry Marcus in order for her sister to stay alive. But also, Marcus tortures her sister, in order for Helene to get her to be loyal to Helene to be loyal to Marcus. So she like does his bidding, she obviously has to serve him. I don't remember what happened to Helene's father. I don't know if he got killed, but I don't think he did, because that's the whole reason why Helene needed to work for Marcus, was for her father. So that's what's going on with Helene. I'm not really that sure of like Leia's storyline. I have to like look it up again. Basically, she's trying to like free the slaves and like get them to be not be suppressed anymore. Like, that's pretty much where we left off in the second book. But also they had rescued Darren. So now, she's getting Darren out of where he was, and like she needs Darren to like make these weapons for like the sleeves, and for some reason like he doesn't want to do it. But also he is obviously wanted right now because he did escape the prison. So that's all I'm gonna say for now, because like I don't want to say too much, because again, it's like a little bit spoilery. That might be a little spoilery, but it's not like a huge reveal that like that I'm revealing. Good job, Kaylin. Wow, you're amazing. But there was one other thing I was gonna say that's going on right now, and why can't I remember what it was? I'm blinking. Hold on one second. I remember. They have to pick. I'm gonna rhyme again, but they have to pick a new emperor, because I remember they have to pick a new emperor. Kaylin, I should just write poems. Why is it that I rhyme literally all the time? Why is it that I rhyme literally all the time? Why? Literally just rhymed again. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe I should be like a rapper, or like just a poem writer, you know? I'm the next Tupac, okay? The next greatest rapper of all time. Anyway, I'm kidding. But anyway, how many times can I say anyway? 3 times, obviously. So, yeah, the Empire's kind of just in chaos, but I love it. I don't feel like too much anxiety reading these. They flow so well. They just flow so well, and you just want to like read it all the time, because it's just such a like I said, I've never read a series where it's just like you're just enjoying the full story. You know? Like, I know like that should be the point of series, but like again, that's like the whole reason why I love YA more. But like again, I feel like it's so unique, this way of writing. It's just so good. I do want to like re-listen to like some of my favorite series at some point, like Once Upon a Broken Heart and Caraval. I kind of want to like revisit them and like see like how the writing style is different from this, because like Stephanie Garber's writing is like a lot more like magical. Like, oh my god, like so much more magical. Like, oh my god, can you sound any more like a Valley girl? But yeah, I think I'm gonna fly through this, because like since my mom is going away tomorrow to California, I'm supposed to go in August, but me and my sister have not planned a damn thing yet. So, but my mom is going, so but I should be finished with this by July 1st, because I don't know why I was thinking like I might not be, but it's like I keep on finishing these books in less than 2 days, and since I'm already on page 142 after working today, like, because I listened to like probably like 97 pages of the book, and then I just read like 48 pages physically, because I finished the second book this morning. I'm like flying through this series, so we should be able to start the 4th book by July 1st if we get through a decent amount tomorrow, because I'm literally not going out tomorrow until my friend gets here at like a little bit after 4, because I said to her we could go to happy hour, and then she's just gonna come over because my mom's not gonna be here. So but anyway, I literally cannot wait to read this later this week, but this will definitely be the first book that I'm finishing in July, because I have to finish the series, obviously, because literally obsessed. But also this one's actually longer. I didn't realize how long this one is. Why did I think it was still like 400 something pages? It's 516 pages. Okay, I didn't think that was going to take me, but it is significantly a little bit thicker than this one. You literally cannot tell when I hold it like that. Yeah, I can feel like it's a little bit thicker, but this will probably take me a total of like 3 days. But honestly, I don't care like how long it takes me, because I'm enjoying it so much. If I take a little bit more time to read this, it's not the end of the universe. But also, I do want to finish this by the 4th, because I really wanted to read Red, White, and Royal Blue, but I might just read both at the same time. Like, I might just read Red, White, and Royal Blue after reading this for like 2 days and see where I'm at by the 4th. Because who knows, maybe I'll just binge the shit out of this on Wednesday night because my mom isn't going to be here. So, and Wednesday is like pretty much the only day that I don't have plans, or vice versa. I might be going out Wednesday if I go out Tuesday as well. But it depends on which day I'm seeing my best friend, either Tuesday or Wednesday. But his girlfriend's coming over tomorrow because we hang out every Monday. And then, but like, I don't have that many plans this week with my mom being away. Sometimes, like, I just enjoy, like, being home when she's not here. Because it's like, I have so much more reading time now. So, yeah. But this one should probably take me like 3 days. But I also have the audiobook too. I just don't have the Libby loan of this one. But my mom just replaced my lamp. Finally, I was like, oh, before you go away, can you replace my lamp? And she replaced it with such a bright ass lamp that I cannot use it at night. So I'm glad that I still have this on my Libby, on loan from Libby, so I can just read my Kindle tonight after I go to sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna read in my dreams, obviously, before I go to sleep. So yeah, I have like a couple of hours that I really just want to watch YouTube. So yeah, that's it. Bye. And I'll let you guys know when I'm like probably 77% of the way through. Exactly, right? No, like around 70%. But yeah, I'm going to read a lot of it tomorrow before Michelle comes over. I should hopefully be around like the 300 page mark before she comes over, because again, I'll have a lot of reading tomorrow. A lot of reading time tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. So I wanted to let you guys know, I'm pretty sure I did not make another check-in with this book, but I did finish A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir earlier this afternoon. I literally could not put this book down. It was fantastic. This one I gave a 5 stars. This was actually the one that I knew that was just going to be a 5-star. The momentum, the action, the romance, the fantasy, the magic, everything in this book was absolute perfection. It was just so freaking great. So amazing. Loves this one. There was a lot of battle scenes in this. Just the way that she writes her battle scenes, it just, like, I don't know how she can pack so much into literally one page and so much happens. She's just a fantastic writer. And the Bloodstrike now has to prove her loyalty to Marcus still, and they still have to kill the Commandant, and Leia has to also use and embrace her magic along with the Bloodstrike's magic as well. And then Elias becomes an even more powerful version of himself. And something happens at the end of this book that is so mind-blowing with Elias. But there's so many, like, crazy things that happen at the end, and I loved it. I can't really say anything else because I don't really want to spoil it, but it was just so freaking great, and I just loved it. So, that's pretty much what happens. I mean, yeah. I'm just really tired right now, but there was some crazy shit that went down in this book. Let me see. Oh, and also the Nightbringer. We got the Nightbringer's perspective at the very first chapter of this book and the very end, and it was so good. I loved it, and he's coming for everyone. So, we're gonna see actually who ends up defeating the Nightbringer, because they're all coming into their own powers, and they say that no human can defeat the Nightbringer, but they can stop him with like a little bit of help, meaning like the powers that now Elias, Helene, and Leia all have. So maybe they're all gonna come together and defeat him. I don't know, but this one really set up a lot for the 4th book. But the battle scenes in this, incredible. I'm just so happy we finally got some battle scenes happening, and I think at the end of the fourth one, there's going to be a lot of that. So now I started the fourth book earlier today called A Sky Beyond the Storm. I'm actually on page 95 already because I actually started the audiobook of this one. I haven't read any of the physical book yet because I was getting ready to go to my best friend's today. So I had literally just finished the Reaper at the Gates book via audio. Like, I had like 2 chapters left. And then I just jumped right into this one while I was still getting ready. And then I listened to a decent amount. So I'm up to page, like I said, 95, like chapter 10. And so far, this is good. It's a little bit of a slower start. But again, we're getting a lot of build up on where Leia, Elias, and the Bloodstrike are now. And, you know, Helene keeps on trying to prove herself to defeat the Commandant. And Leia, you know, keeps on trying to free the slaves. I'm not sure where Darren is right now. I really can't remember. Oh, and also something happens to not Elias's, Leia's mother at the end of the third book. And then with Elias, again, his powers are getting stronger. And he becomes like a more powerful version of himself at the end of the third book. I can't really say what, because it's kind of a spoiler. And then in the fourth book, he is now kind of commanding the ghosts. Elias is my favorite character because he's like my favorite voice in the whole series. I just am obsessed with his voice. So that's why I like listening to the books a lot. But also of the third book, I read like, I think like 70 something pages of it physically today. And then I think I read like a chapter this morning. So yeah, I think like almost 70 to like 80 pages of it physically. So I read almost 200 pages of it physically. I haven't read any of this physically yet, but at least I already finished a book in July because I already finished A Reaper at the Gates. So that was the whole goal. Let me just rhyme 50 million times. I just rhymed again. It's rhyming queen. And then they are figuring out who is going to be the next emperor still. Because Marcus is still controlling Helene's sister, and and also Helene's sister had her baby, and that is actually Marcus's heir. And Marcus has been pretty much torturing her sister, Helene's sister, because Helene's sister was the one who married Marcus. And now actually all of the like characters that you thought were like pure evil are now kind of helping the main characters because they know that their powers that the main characters have all like assist like the Nightbringer's power. So it's such a cool concept because the villains of the story, they realize that no matter what, they all like assist the Nightbringer's power. Not just the villains, but also Elias, Leia, and Helene, because the Nightbringer could use them, and even the Nightbringer actually helps one of the characters in the third book as well. I'm not going to say who the Nightbringer is or the character because again, that could be a major spoiler. So it's very interesting to see when the villains become more humanized, but also like because they constantly battle with like their past human selves, but also and the Nightbringer has been alive. Now all of it's coming back to me now. Like, I really could not remember half this shit before. But the Nightbringer has actually been alive for like 1,000 years. Well, I guess he's been dead or just immortal. So it literally at the end of the third book, it like says like how much he's seen. And he's literally the Reaper at the Gates, which we kind of figured out already. Like, that's not really a spoiler. It's just like she does say why she titles the books exactly what she does, because literally in this book, she is now talking about the Ember in the Ashes and the Torch Against the Night on which character is which. So it's just really, really cool. So I'm guessing A Sky Beyond the Storm might be Leia. So I don't know if Leia's the key to his undoing. It might be. Not sure yet, because we found out who the Ember in the Ashes is and who the Torch Against the Night is in the first two books. So maybe. So, but this one's definitely the thickest one. I'm hoping, like I said, to have it done by July 3rd. I should be able to binge this on the 3rd that night, because I do have plans tomorrow, but not until like 6:30, because tomorrow is actually my Apple interview, so I have to, get ready for bed and actually go to sleep early for once. But then after that, I'm just going to come home and then I'm just going to read a crap ton of this. And then I don't have to go back out again until like 6:30 to meet my other friend, my book bestie, because she's reading A Court of Mist and Fury right now, and I'm finishing up this series. So now we can just both rave about fantasy series that we're reading right now. And we're probably going to go to happy hour. So yeah, but that's like near me. My interview is unfortunately like 20 minutes away from me. It's at a totally different mall here. It's not at the mall that's near me, which would have been nice, but it's fine. So yeah, that's it. And I will check in with you guys when I'm like hopefully like halfway through this, and not just like when I'm finished with the book, because I'm obviously going to make another check-in of this. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I wanted to do my last check-in on A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. I am on the 4th and final book. I cannot believe we're already almost done with this series, because I only have 95 pages left now. I'm on page 425, I believe. Yeah, 425, and this one is 516 pages. I literally blasted through this series in a week, you guys. This series is just incredibly written. I'm not getting the same 5-star feeling from this book as I did from A Reaper at the Gates. I don't know why. I really thought this was going to be an automatic 5-star, but I just love the action-packed war kind of theme to the third book as opposed to this one. This one is having a lot of build-up to a war, but I know probably the last 50 pages will probably bump it up to a 5-star for me. I just feel like this one is, I know it's spending a lot of time building up to the war, and I get that, but also like I kind of want it to happen already. But there have been some moments that my jaw was on the floor. There was one part that made me cry a little bit. So I'm still having a great time. Like there's no like complaints about this. So I've been loving it. So yeah, I should be able to finish it within the next couple of hours, because I'm planning on just finishing it before I leave the house today. I don't really have plans today. The only plan was to finish this book today. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I literally only took like probably 2.5 days to finish each book in this series. That's like how fast these books are. I've also listened to this one a shit ton, but I did read 100 pages of it physically yesterday. So that's pretty good. And then I'm planning just to read the rest of it physically right now. This one's a lot more romance heavy as compared to the first three, probably because maybe her publishers did push her a little bit to have a little bit more romance in this one, but the romance doesn't feel misplaced at all, because we've been through these characters for 3 books now. Like, we want to see their romance developing. They're also older now, so because I'm not sure like what age they start out at and what age they are now, but I'm sure they're a bit more mature. Let me rhyme again. But yeah, again, everything's building up to defeating the Nightbringer, so that's basically what's happening. There was also some deaths that were pretty upsetting. And Elias keeps on like battling with his inner self, and Leia I pretty much confirmed that Leia is gonna be the undoing of the Nightbringer. I already figured that out. Also, oh, the love triangle has switched around quite a bit, and it's not Helene and Leia in love with Elias anymore. It's Leia that has Elias that's in love with her still, and somebody else. I'm not gonna say who it is because I mean, you do find out in the first book though who her first love is. It's her first love. So that was so cool to have like the triangle turn like that. I've never really read a series like that where it's now two men. Well, I read Light Lark, but I love that it's like two men that are in love with Leia now. So I don't know, it's just cool because like sometimes it's always about like the woman pining after one man, and I'm glad that she switched it around. I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. Marcus and Helene's sister did have her heir. So, their heir, I mean. So now Helene has to protect her heir at all costs. And that's about it. I think heir is going to be about Helene's son. Not Helene's son. Helene's sister's son. I just realized that. Cool. And I think I'm going to just grab that really quick because I might just include my thoughts on this as well at the end. I'm not going to do like check-ins with this. I'm kind of going to do like the same thing I did when I read The Hunger Games, and I just gave you guys my overall thoughts on Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and Sunrise on the Reaping at the end of my Hunger Games vlog. I'm going to do the same with Air by Sapa Tahir, because this vlog is going to go up a little bit later when I finally get to this book, because I'm probably not going to read this book until like maybe the third week of July, because I have some other books I want to go into after I finish A Sky Beyond the Storm. So this one's probably going to be read like 2 weeks into July, like I said. I mean, we're already in the first week of July. So, and this one's significantly longer. I mean, actually, it's around the same length as A Sky Beyond the Storm. This one's like 480 pages. This one is like 516 pages. So this one's a bit longer, but I'm sure I'm going to blast through this too. I'm so excited for this book. She actually is working on a second prequel for this for this separate spin-off series because it's just a duology. But very excited for this. This one came out earlier this year, I believe. I don't think it came out last year. I think it came out, or it might have come out at the tail end of last year. But I thought it was like a January or February release. Oh, it came out October 1st. Okay, so it did come out last year. I wish I would have gotten this cover, though. That one is so pretty, but it's fine. I think I'll live. So, yeah, nothing's been announced yet, but there is supposed to be a second one. So, yeah. And then after that, not really sure what she's doing after that, but I'm so excited to read this. This is also very heavy. I don't know how much of the physical book I'm going to read. I just know I knew I wanted to purchase it. Probably just borrow it from the library and read the physical book when I can. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm going to shut up now and I will just check in when I am done with this series because I, again, cannot believe that I'm almost done with it. But there are some like more like summer romances or like other romance books that I want to get into after this. So that's why. And also I have 2 ARC reads that I need to read before the 15th because I want to read those before they come out. So I'm going to be reading those after I'm finished with this series. And also I did start Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston because I wanted that to be my July 4th read. And so far I'm loving it. So I've been reading that on Kindle Unlimited. And I wanted to read that last July 4th, but I never got around to it. So I didn't want to miss that window again of reading it around July 4th. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm gonna go. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. I wanted to let you guys know that I did finish A Sky Beyond the Storm by Saba Tahir. So good, you guys. Such a good, freaking solid YA fantasy series. Wow. Just amazing. So this one was a 4.5 stars for me. Still amazing. Still loved these books. Should I grab all 4 of them actually and do a little recap? It's just that the other 2 books are at the very bottom of my reading wrap-up pile. I think I'm going to have to film my reading wrap-up tonight because I have to refilm the whole thing because I lost the footage when I filmed it. So I'm going to have to refilm it. But I think I'll have time tonight possibly. Or I'm just going to have to do it during the day tomorrow. So... But I just got some very exciting news. So I'm on like cloud 9 right now, but let me just move these. That's probably why I didn't remember to actually put them over here. So hold on. Okay, hold on. Like 3 people are texting me. Sorry. So yeah, incredible series. I'm so glad that I read these. This only took me like 8 days to get through all 4 books. Well, I did listen to a lot of them via audio, but the audiobook narrators were just incredible. Every single voice in this series was amazing. Every single character's voice. I loved them. So let's go ahead and rank them really quick. I loved all of them, though. I really did. It's really hard to say, like, rank them on the bottom. But I think number 4 was actually my least favorite. But it was still amazing. Like, I loved these books. But this was a 4.5. And then it just, like, I don't know. There was something about it that, like, I didn't get the 5-star feeling about. And I really thought that this one was going to be like a 5-star. I was going to be devastated at the end, but I still loved it. It was still so good. And then number 3 has to be A Torch Against the Night, which was also a 4.5. I still loved it. And I would still highly recommend this series. There's not a bad book in this series. They're all amazing. And then number 2 was An Ember in the Ashes. Fantastic start to the series. I can understand why these books are so popular now. And then number 1 was A Reaper at the Gates. An Ember in the Ashes was a 4.75. It was almost a 5-star. And then, of course, A Reaper at the Gates was my favorite one. This one was so amazing. So this was my 5-star read in this series. So again, amazing series. Really, really loved these books. And I would highly recommend to people. That is my ranking. Still loved them so much. So now I can't wait to put them back on my shelves. But I would recommend this series to anyone who loves YA fantasy. This is a must read. This is a must read. If you read anything this year and you love YA fantasy, these are fantastic. So just Saba Tahir is a fantastic writer. Oh my God. So with the last 100 pages of this, I was kind of expecting a bit more war. There was some war scenes, but honestly, I kind of wanted a little bit more of it. I feel like it was, but with Saba Tahir's writing, it does make sense that it was wrapped up pretty quickly. But I kind of wanted more. But other than that, fantastic. I love how she tied up all the characters' stories and just so good. I can't really say anything else, like I said, because it's going to be so spoilery. Just loved it. Loved this series. Highly recommend it. I can't rave about it enough. And I'm just so happy that I finally completed another series on my TBR because, I hadn't read a series in a while. And like I've said before, why do I put series off? I don't really know. I think I'm going to mood read a little bit now, though. I did start Red, White, and Royal Blue, but I think I'm going to listen to that in the car. I also just purchased Megan Quinn's Till Summer Do Us Part, and I've been dying to read that book. I don't know why. Just like everybody's been saying how good it is. So I think I'm going to start the audiobook right now, like as I'm getting ready, because I'm actually going out with my best friend to celebrate that I got the job at Apple. And I'm so excited. He actually got out of work like really early. So we're just going to go celebrate at my favorite restaurant that we go to all the time in his town. And I was like, yeah, we have to go there. And I was like, I have to celebrate with my best friend. Because like I actually originally did not have plans today. And I was like, but we have to go out and celebrate. He was like, you working? I'm like, no. And he's like, I was like, do you want to go celebrate? And he's like, yeah, I already got out of work. And I was like, so excited. So excited. So yeah, fantastic series. Don't have anything else to say. So yeah. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819. And also follow me on TikTok and Goodreads. I've been getting a lot of views on my TikTok recently. So that's great. So if you want to see more reviews from me and more book content, you can follow me on there. And then, of course, on my Goodreads. Wait, hold on. I'm not ending this video. I have to come back a couple weeks from now and tell you guys my thoughts on Air. So, bye for now. And I will check in when I read that book and when I finish it. So yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so hey there guys. So I wanted to let you guys know that I just finished the spin-off book to Ember in the Ashes. This is not a prequel. I don't know why I said it was a prequel. It's a spin-off. And there's going to be 2 books in this. It's the Air duology. The first book is out for now. It came out last October. So there is actually no release date or announcement on when the second book's coming out, but I think it's coming out next year. So I just finished it, and I cannot believe I finished all the books that are out in this world just now. I feel like it only took me like 3 weeks because I didn't read this until like the middle of July. Like I just finished it. So I finished A Reaper at the Gates and A Sky Beyond the Storm as the first 2 books that I read in July. And then I had some other books that I wanted to read, and then I read this one. So very happy about this one. I'm glad I accomplished reading a series because I was missing reading a series, and this was good. I just gave it a 4 stars though. I don't think I felt as strongly for the characters in this book as I did in the original series because y'all know I love Elias, I love Laya, and I love Helene. But it was really, really cool to see them mentioned in this and that they did play a significant role in these books as well. But I did enjoy the characters' individual romances in this, and that's what I love about Saba Tahir's writing is that she does such a great job of balancing the romance along with the fantasy plot. And this takes place quite a bit after the events of Ember in the Ashes. And it was really, really good. I really enjoyed the magic. I really enjoyed the characters. Quill is betrothed to, I forgot what her name is, for his kingdom, but also I believe he is the heir. So he is Helene's nephew, and Helene is instilled in his care. And yeah, that's pretty much what this book is about. I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it. But I read quite a lot of the physical book today. I didn't really get to read it as much physically pretty much at all yesterday. I only read 58 pages physically yesterday, and then I audiobooked the rest of it yesterday because I was out late last night because I saw Superman with my bestie, literally my best friend in the whole world, and we talked for like 3 hours after the movie was over because we might not be able to see each other like by ourselves for a while because we're actually seeing each other the whole weekend, and we have plans with other friends on Saturday night because we're going out for one of my other friends' birthdays that we're finally going to an escape room. So I'm so excited because like even though her birthday was last month, we're not going out until this weekend because she didn't really have a Saturday free last month. But I did take her out for her birthday. Like I did. I took her out to dinner. So yeah, anyway, this was just really good. I'm really excited for when the second book comes out. When, I don't know, but I'm just so happy that I completed this series. I definitely wanted to get this book done before my schedule just gets crazy next week because I start my new job in literally 8 days is when I start my job. It felt like literally, I felt like it was 3 weeks away, literally like 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago. Now it's 8 days away. Well, yeah, 8 days. So I'm trying to squeeze in at least 4 or 5 more books before then. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to. I'm just going to read a summer. I guess this is a summer romance. I'm pretty sure it's a romance book, but I'm going to read summer reading. I really want to read this one. It's just, I have to read this in the depths of summer. I mean, hello. It's literally called summer reading, duh. And then this weekend, I'm going to read Flawless, which is the first book in the Chestnut Spring series. I'm just going to read that on my Kindle. And then next week, I have 2 new releases to read, which is 3 Shattered Souls, which is the third book in the 5 Broken Blades series. I just want to finish it because that's the third and final book. And then Not Quite Dead Yet by Hallie Jackson comes out next week. And I've read 4 of her books. I absolutely love her YA thrillers, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I mean, one of the best trilogies out there when it comes to thriller YA. And I also read The Reappearance of Rebel Price by her, so this will be my 5th book by her, and I'm really excited to read that one. And then I also want to read my book club pick for next week, which is The Night Circus, which is one I put on the TBR and it got picked. So I have to read that next week. That's like the one I really need to read, and then I just want to read those 2 other new releases. And then I start training the 25th. But the orientation's in my store, so it's only 5 minutes away, and that's only like 5 hours. So hopefully when I come home, I don't know if I'm going to end up seeing my best friend that night with his girlfriend, or because we're already seeing each other Saturday and Sunday night, because we're just going to do like a movie night at his place on Sunday. Because it might rain, even though we were originally planning to go to the beach. We're thinking it's going to rain, so we're going to go to the beach on Tuesday instead, and he got the day off, so now we're going to be able to go to the beach. And then the 26th and 27th, I start my city training in the city, in NYC. So that's going to be a long freaking day, so I'm just going to read the second book in the Chestnut Spring series that weekend. I think that'll be so much easier to read. I think it's Flawless and Reckless. I don't even know. I think it's Reckless, the second book. I never can remember the titles of those books. And then I'm going to end the month with one of my most anticipated reads of the entire year, and that is Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling. As long as I can read that book this month, and the 2 Chestnut Spring series books, and the book club pick, those are really the books that I really need to read, and the 2 other new releases, and that's it. So I think it's doable. So yeah, that's it. Let me tell you my entire reading schedule, but But we finished this, and this is my 11th book this month, so we're still doing great. And that will be 13 books by Sunday if I finish Flawless by Sunday night. And then Night Circus, Not Quite Dead Yet, 3 Shattered Souls, the second Chestnut Springs book. And then Wrath of the Dragon. So I might only have time to read 17 books this month, but still. I figured after I get busy, it's going to be a little bit difficult. I might be able to squeeze in. Well, I will finish Wind Weaver as well, which I've been audiobooking, and I've been really enjoying it, and I'm just going to listen to the audiobook now. I'm not reading anymore tonight. I'm too tired. But I'm actually going to be able to binge summer reading tomorrow because my plans got canceled, but I was just supposed to go to brunch with 2 of my ex-coworkers from Lucky. Now we're all not going to be working there anymore because my last day there is the 23rd. And then the day before, I think I have to myself as well. So at least Thursdays I have to myself. But next week is not going to be as fun besides that beach day because I have to work Monday and Wednesday. But I didn't really work this week until this Saturday morning is the only time I'm working this week besides this past Sunday. So at least I had this week to enjoy with my friends before I start training. And then my sister comes to visit on Friday, so be able to spend the day with her and talk about my California trip. Hopefully I can even do that still, because I don't know how much I'm going to be training. Again, I'm sorry about these monsters on my face. I think it's just because I've been wearing makeup every day. So now I can finally take a break from makeup tomorrow. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really, really enjoyed this series, and I think if you've had it on your list for a while, I think you should definitely read it. I think you should give it a chance. They're just so, so good. I really enjoy her writing. I don't know why people compare this to This Woven Kingdom, because I think that the writing is superior to This Woven Kingdom. I just think it's so much more fun. I just didn't love this book, but I still really enjoyed it. There was just some really good banter, and the characters were fun, and I'm excited for the second book. I did read a lot of it physically today. I think I read 150 pages of it today, because I read 50 pages before I switched to my Kindle, because I like reading hardcovers if they're on Libby. If I'm sitting in my bed, it's a little bit hard for me to keep my book like this, because it's a lot of weight on my stomach, so I'll just switch to my Kindle. And I think I read 20 something pages then. So that was 70 pages. And then I read 50 pages at the Silent Book Club. So that was 120. And then I read another 50 pages to finish it. So I think I read 170 pages today. I didn't realize how much it actually was, because when I got home from the book club, I had listened to 2 chapters in the car, because I also had the audiobook as well, because I really enjoyed the voices of this whole series. The voices are incredible. So by the time I got home, I was on page 425 already, and then I read 60 pages at home. I think I read 170, 180 pages today, which is crazy because it feels like nothing in these books, because they're so fast-paced and they're so easy to read. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't feel like keeping it on my lap anymore because it's too heavy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CPW819, and check out my Goodreads and my Poshmark, my TikTok in the link below. I'm so excited to tell you guys that my very first TikTok video hit 1,000 views. I had my very first TikTok video hit 1,000 views. I don't know how to say that properly. The video that I posted 2 days ago was the first TikTok video from me that hit 1,000 views. Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense, because I haven't had any of my other videos hit 1,000 views. So that's awesome. My Yes, No, or Maybe So might hit 1,000 views from June. But I can't believe it hit 1,000 views. I'm so excited. So now it has over 1,050 views. So maybe it'll hit 1,100 by tomorrow, which is awesome. So yeah, this was I haven't binged a series like this in a while. I mean, I did read the Rebel Ranch series back in June, but I haven't really binged a series since The Hunger Games at the end of April, and then the beginning of May when I read the prequels. So it was really fun. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great day, and happy reading. Bye.